Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires today. I hope you brought your appetite and love of canned goods because I'm hoping we get to see some late game spam as Hera, playing as the Malay in blue, gets ready to take on Sora Kuma, playing as the Slavs in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their explorables, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Hey, Baba, Mr. Sheep. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now we saw the Malay very recently. The Spam Kings want to spam elephants. Well, that's not something you hear every day. Those units get progressively cheaper as the game goes on. 25% cheaper in Castle, 35% cheaper elephants in the Imperial Age. The Malay also get all infantry armor upgrades for free. We'll see at the top left of our screen as these boxes light up more and more and more as the game goes on. Now you might be wondering, what the hell do free infantry armor upgrades have to do with spam? Well, remember, they can upgrade their militia line units to cost only food, no gold. And so while the Malay don't actually get champions, this upgrade, called Forced Levy, when combined with the supplies upgrade, essentially turns their two-handed swordsman into a fairly cheap trash unit that only costs 65 food. Now, if you don't want to raid with elephants, if you don't want to push with two-handed swordsmen, if you want to go a third option in terms of spam, well, the Malay can turn to their unique unit, the Karambit Warrior. This is an incredibly cheap, super fast, but on the whole kind of weak infantry unit that only takes up half a population room, which means if Hera trains 100 of them, they'll only take up 50 population space. Now, in order to help you get these late game features, powerful units and whatnot, you do advance as the Malay to the next age a lot faster than normal. I'll hopefully remember to point out the exact difference in times. Sometimes it's not super duper noticeable. Sometimes it is super duper noticeable. So hopefully I'll, as I say with the Bengalis, when I try to focus on the town center and see where the two free villagers go, when Hera clicks to feudal, we'll take a look at the amount of time he's saving. But that is a super cool feature of the Malay. You can basically take your time, work on your economy, enjoy the game, or you can rush to Castle and Imperial and try to push with those discounted elephants, maybe some of those cheaper trash-only two-handed swordsmen, maybe even Karambits, as we saw with the Red Phosphoru build yesterday. Now, who might be taking the brunt of all this spam? It will be Sora Kuma today, playing as the Slavs in red, a civilization that likes to get all up in your grill. Their infantry, which is already quite strong, can be upgraded to do trample damage, and their unique unit, the Boyar, is a fairly slow, super tanky, powerful cavalry unit with a very good amount of both melee and pierce armor. Think Teutonic Knight on a horse. Now, to support their melee units on the field of battle against harassment by ranged units, all Slavic Workshop units are Siege. All Slavic Siege Workshop units are 15% cheaper, which is fantastic because the Slavs actually have access to all Siege Workshop units with the exception of bombard cannons. And by the way, those cheaper siege units, they can be combined with Slavic monks, which naturally move 20% faster than normal to generate a powerful siege monk rush, adorably called a smush. Now, Slavic castles and towers can also be upgraded so that 40% of their stone cost is replaced with wood, which does save players a lot of stone and means you have no excuse to not to pepper the map with a huge number of both castles and towers. And to grow their military productions, they do get supplies and gambesons free of charge. Their farmers work 15% faster than normal, and every time a Slav builds, I'm looking on the map here, not quite yet, but every time a Slav builds a barracks, an archery range, a stable, or even a siege workshop, each one of those structures does provide 5 population space, just like a house, which does free up a tiny little bit of wood for, I don't know, maybe more farms, maybe more of those discounted castles, or maybe even more army supply. Who knows? Wood for the Slav is very important. It can use, I mean, pretty much the only civilization that can use wood to build castles. Towers, pretty much everybody, but wood to build castles, get out of here. Unless, I guess, technically, I guess you could use the market to sell the wood to buy the stone for the castle, but that's not exactly what I mean. Anyway, in any event, when Sora Kuma places his first military building, we'll see. When Hera clicks up to the next age, we'll see. So he is going up to the Feudal Age off the back of 21 villagers. Everyone else in this map, for example, Sora Kuma, would take 130 seconds to get his butt up to Feudal Age. Hera will take 78 seconds, so almost a minute of save time 52 seconds, I believe, is the exact amount they save. And here we go. 25 population room, 30 population room now that the barracks is complete. And Sora Kuma himself, not too far off from hitting the Feudal Age, will actually hit it a millisecond before his opponent and has discovered where his opponent is. Let's take a look at the actual attack path between these two bases. Hera does have a villager here that is a little bit exposed. He has skimped on Loom, and Sora Kuma pounces right away, but Loom completes right out. How sour is that for that one scout who rushed in, thought, hey, I just struck the bonus here. I just saw 3 gold coins on the slot machine. And no, it turns out that the bonus was terrible. You didn't even get your bet back. And sometimes that's what happens when you gamble. And in this case, gambling with attacking opposing units. Attack path pretty straightforward. A few hills here, the usual relic in the dead center of the map. And what is going on? Sora Kuma walling himself into the south. Hera walling himself into the north. Let's take a look at where those resources are located, because these are some pretty, look at the minimap. These are some pretty giant wall-offs. Okay, Hera, primary gold, secure to the back, extra stone to the back as well, but second gold, main stone, and third gold all being left outside of the initial settlement. And we'll see whether or not that hurts or hinders or does anything actually. Ooh, wait a second, villager, 2 scouts, 3 scouts. Will Sora Kuma notice? Oh, not only does he notice, he is moving to intercept with 2 scouts to block the way. Brings the third, will get the first kill of the game. Our Slav draws first blood, and first blood, what first blood it is, with a villager kill. But he can't really stick around here, not with a spearman, not with 3 scouts, maybe with 4 scouts. Ooh, you gotta be so careful now with second spearman. Should be able to shoo this away. I'm not too sure Sora Kuma's gonna stick around, which means we can take a look at his base. Also, gold secured to the rear position, but oh my goodness, you thought Hera was bad with 1, 2, 3. Well, let's call it 2.5 resources left outside the town center, because he's kind of using his primary gold as stone, pardon me, as part of his wall off here. Sora Kuma is leaving 4 out of 5 of his main resources outside. And what is going on? Okay, another villager kill for a scout, but now he's running in a gauntlet of archers. Archers without ballistics means they just barely get the scout. Oh, that is so amazing for Sora Kuma. That is so absolutely shitty for Hera. And let's take a look. Secondary gold, primary stone, tertiary gold, secondary stone, all left outside for our Slav. What the heck are these 2 wall-offs? At least Hera, as I mentioned, only has 2.5. His 2 extra golds and kind of, let's call it half. Well, I mean, what the hell? This is Age of Empires, where this is walled in. This is walled in, but this probably isn't. Welcome to the MC Escher RTS of your dreams, and a secondary wall off beginning off to the right. I'm assuming he's going to do the same thing here to the left. The last thing you want to do against Hera, as we saw in his game against Daniel, is leave any possible avenue for the greatest player currently in the world with his above 3,000 elo to bust into your base. And so I'm expecting some kind of double wall off on the left flank of the Slavic base as well. For now, taking a few pot shots from this scout. I'm surprised the skirmishers didn't fire on him. He's barely got any HP. Not exactly a Georgian scout regenerating HP. And so taking a few pokes and prods, but I can't get over the fact that Hera's lost 2 villagers already. He is at equal villager count. Both players have the same army count. One player went heavy on the archers, Hera. One player went heavy on the skirmishers, Sora Kuma. Both have, well, kind of mirror images. 1 spearman, 2 scout, 1 scout, 2 spearman. It doesn't really matter in the Feudal Age. Micro really is what matters. Battles will be taken or not taken depending on what the opponent sees of your army. And mamma mia, speaking of a scout with very shitty HP, Sora Kuma doing, by the way, what Hera used to always do, and now Hera is not doing, which is taking this super duper weak scout unit and actually scouting with it. So let's see the player's actual map vision. This is Sora Kuma, has seen the entirety of the center of the map. Hera? Okay, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Similar scouting for both players. Now Hera's returned to the exact same place he was before. A little bit of deja vu for our Malay, who was housed at 50 population. Not someplace you want to be, not something I expected to see. And now he pivots all the way over here, and he's going to discover that there's going to be a wall off. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, you might want to move in here. There's a lumberjack, but there are archers. Archers, by the way, with no fletching whatsoever, which means their range is stuck at 4. So both players kind of circling, both players heading up to Castle Age. This is where I love pointing out, this is where things start getting bonkers for the Malay. So Sora Kuma clicks into Castle Age, as would take all of us 160 seconds. For the Malay, 96 seconds. So well over a minute. Going up to Feudal under a minute they save, going into Castle over a minute, and then if we're lucky enough to see Imperial, I mean it's almost 80, it's almost like a minute and a half or a minute and a quarter that they save. Oh, be careful, be careful. Finally, the archers did what they couldn't do over here an hour ago, and they gunned down that scout, evening up the kill count. Oh, pardon, excusez-moi. I thought it would be a double wall off this way, but no, Sora Kuma, greedy, wants this piece of land as well. So annexing even more of the map is our Slav at the moment. Although this villager is going to be trapped inside of here unless he builds a gate or destroys some of these palisade walls and lets him through. Hera. I mean, this is amazing. Sora Kuma is threading the needle between 3 army groups. There was a scout, crossbowman, and another band of archer units with their Feudal Age spearmen brothers at arms. This is, okay, all right. Well, this is a bit of a thicker wall of still houses. I don't know, against the civilization that has elephants, houses, I'm not too sure, are going to be the greatest thing. Will he get the first villager kill? He does not. He's going to have to settle for destroying a little bit of wood here. Both players, by the way, hit castle. First thing on their minds is expanding their economy as they both get a second town center down. Hera's got the resources for a third. Sora Kuma does not at the moment. He is investing his resources in upgrades, both investing in their lumberjacks. Skirmishers moving forward in 14 seconds. Will be elite with Bodkin, which means bye crossbow push. And look at that. You don't even need to be elite to kill these crossbowmen. They are not Vietnamese, so they are just going to fall like... What am I thinking? Sheafs of barley? Wheats of barley? Well, what's the correct expression? Something of barley? Is that even an expression? And finally, another scout with barely any HP dies. To be fair, both of these players doing each other favors by killing these weak scouts. The last thing you want to be doing as Hera, especially, and I say especially because so far in this game, I believe he's been the only one supply blocked or housed, to use Age of Empires lingo. The last thing you need is your population space being taken up by units that have like 2 HP, are doing nothing and accomplishing nothing and contributing nothing to your war effort. And so when Sora Kuma killed that one weak blue scout, when blue killed that one weak red scout, they were doing each other a favor. You also have to die, FYI, this unit. You just need to die. I'm sorry. I'm not usually this morbid. I don't try to sound, you know, like I want death, wish death upon anyone, except this scout. You're just wasting space. That being said, because we're watching the Slavs, every single one of these is 5 population, 5 population, 5 population. And so look at the population space. Sora Kuma has 80 more space he can go up to. Hera, 16. So he's gonna have to get his suburbs in order. And on the minimap, I saw these 2 TCs complete at the exact same time. By the way, when your monks move 20% faster at 0.84 compared to 0.7, you can run around the map. How many relics has our Slav seen? Oh yeah, he's seen all of them except this one, which he is about to see, I think. Trying to evade these crossbowmen. So double mission accomplished. Evades the crossbowmen, sees the relic. And I love that Sora Kuma, having seen even this relic right nearby, is going after the riskier ones. I say this a lot, I mean it. If you can go after the riskier, insert whatever here, resources, relics, map control, always go for the riskier one first. You never know when your opponent's going to push you back. So I absolutely love that he's ignoring the relic right next to him. This one we know he's ignoring because he just saw it. So no real choice but to ignore it. And now a very weak, very flimsy attempt to bust into the Malay base. And a very chunky, very awesome response from the Malay. I mean, so far Hera is being beaten with a shoelace, which is what I would call skirmishers attacking your walled off base. And this is going to be fun. Elephants moving. They are not exactly Chimera elephants that move 10% faster. Oh, and there's a monk already here. You gotta have cojones of steel to elephant push into a civilization that has monks that can show up out of nowhere randomly with their 20% movement speed increase. And just like that, all of a sudden, elephant on elephant violence. Poke to the ass. Every time Hera changes course, the red elephant will catch up a little bit more and more and more. Looks like they're sniffing each other's asses in the traditional elephant greeting. Hey, I recognize you from a party 3 years ago. We'll keep an eye on these elephants, see if they do anything for the mean part. In the meantime, for the mean part, that's not English. In the meantime, you know, sometimes I'm editing my videos. Another moment of truth for you that like I shared a day or two ago. Sometimes I'm editing my videos and I'm like, what the hell did you just say? Did you speak English? What the hell just came out of your mouth? Looks like Hera might have the high ground. Hard to say. Doesn't seem like it as his elephant bites the dust. But yeah, sometimes I'm editing. I'm like, what? What expression were you going for? What were you trying to say? And here we go. Husbandry just now getting got for these elephants. We'll make the move finally faster than the skirmishers at 0.99 compared to 0.96. This guy, by the way, is still here, still attacking this house as we saw when we panned over about 10 minutes ago. And here we go. The elephants surround with husbandry and boom, it hits. They move. Not maybe lightning fast. And again, no supporting units to get rid of these monks. It means he loses another elephant. But does Hera care? They are cheap. Well, they are cheaper. And now they're going after the siege, which is, again, cheaper for the slab. Ooh, missed opportunity for Sora. Kuma pops out another mangonel, misses another opportunity. 2 pancakes missed, but there we go. A third finally hits. Blink of an eye, game-changing unit is the mangonel line. Onager, siege onager, doesn't matter which one. They can change the dynamic of a game by changing the dynamic of a battle very, very quickly. And all of a sudden, no more crossbowmen for our Malay, who turns around. Mission kind of accomplished, I guess. He's destroyed the siege. He killed the monk. Now, what really sucks for our Malay... Okay, knights will find no way to enter that base. What really sucks for our Malay is that if you are a spam civilization, one of the cool ways you can continue spamming is to get relics. Unfortunately, Sora Kuma has gotten his Slavic hands on all 5 relics, and so early into the game. I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised. Look at the map. This is Arena on Arabia. You have 1 settlement, 2 settlements. These players are basically playing like Arena, which means bye-bye skirmishers. That's what that means for them. Which means there should have been a relic war. But Hera says, you know what? I kind of feel like playing with elephants today. Nothing dirty, nothing sexual, nothing perverted. I just kind of feel like playing. You know, some people go to Thailand. They post those cool pictures where they work for a day in an elephant sanctuary. Looks like a bunch of knights here died as well. You know, they feed the elephants, they bathe the elephants, they walk them through the forest. If you can't do that, might as well play elephants with in Age of Empires. FYI, for the second time, there's another red unit in the rear of this Malay base. And unlike the skirmisher, this one moves a lot faster than blue, but okay, decides not to use his movement speed advantage at all. And our Slav says, hey, you know what? I actually don't have that bad of a infantry line. I actually have every single infantry unit non-eagle and every single upgrade. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because I can pump out good pikemen. And those pikemen can't take on these elephants. Because one thing that the Malay severely lack is armor upgrades on their mounted units. I mean, the developers are not going to give you a 35% discount with elephants and then make those elephants OP. If you take a look at the top left of your screen real quick, you'll see 2 gaping squares underneath that horseshoe, indicating that the Malay do not get the last 2 armor upgrades, or maybe the second and third would be a better way to say that. FYI, the Malay is raiding more villagers, 14 villager kills with these knights. The pack to the north has died. The pack to the northwest is down to 1, although I believe that was always 1, and now there's another duo, but look at how weak they are. But weak or not, they will keep these elephants here. This is the last thing Hera wants to be doing right now, is back home defending with this slow unit. He wants these elephants. He wants to Star Trek teleport them right into here and cause as much ruckus and damage as he possibly can. Bye, one shot these knights. They are super duper weak. And again, Sora Kuma putting on the pressure. Fantastically converted elephant on the left. Pikeman to the center, and Hera's going for a castle. Let's keep an eye on this Mangonel. So far has killed 1 villager. And Hera's trying to engage into the Mangonel with the villagers while his light cavalry try to maneuver around them. So far the Mangonel is not really killing villagers. There we go. Added 2 more, but a few left taps. And the light cavalry get him. So the castle should, 98, 99, yeah, the castle should go up. And all of a sudden, these super squishy pikemen have nowhere to go, nothing to do. They're going to all get pumped full of arrows. Unless, of course, Hera chooses a different target, which he does not. He goes after the pikeman, gets one. Oh, poor unlucky bastard. Every time a unit oversteps the line and then still gets killed, I feel so bad for that unit. So bad. You have to be the unluckiest SOB that ever lived. What are you up to, Mr. Knight here? 2 kills. How many of those are villagers? Both of them villagers. Hera catches another. Will finally be able to start growing his vill kill numbers. But did the villager catch all of these barracks? Ooh, how lucky is that for Hera that Sora Kuma did not catch wind of these barracks. And both players are heading up to Imperial. It looks like mere seconds apart. And this is where I will save for the last final time. And there's detonates. Okay, so first and foremost, 190 seconds for the Slav to go up. So a little over 3 minutes. Hera, just under 2 minutes at 114. So literally 76 seconds saved. Detonates, by the way, and Hussars. Oh, Hera is gonna get Hera is gonna get Herod. But he's got a forward castle. He might want to put a castle here on the right flank as well. Hussars with iron casting, and in 40 seconds they will have the last armor upgrade as well. And this town center with the gold is going to be lamed as well. Oh, that is incredibly amazing for red, and absolutely game-alteringly bad for blue. And we saw Hera. This is the outside gold patch. He's got an outside gold patch here. Oh, mamma mia. Pikemen find a whole juicy nest of elephants. What do you call a group of elephants? I'm not too sure. A chunkle of elephants? What the hell, this knight? He had 2 kills before. He's up to 10. Hera is not responding. Why is Hera not responding? What's he doing on the other side of the map? Okay, finally garrisons these villagers. The knight gets 10 extra kills since we saw him last. And that is about as bad as it can possibly get here for our Malay. He has lost 47 villagers, and I can't keep my eyes off of this one knight. But this is Hera. We're talking about his halberdiers are here. They're going to try to stop these scout line units, which again don't have blast furnace, but scorpions, siege engineers. I mean, if your opponent is going infantry, hello, 15% discounted scorpions with extra range. And by the way, remember now, ballistics as well. Ain't too bad. More villagers being chased off the production line. Doesn't even matter if he kills them at this point. Now he's just being annoying, and he's discovering where the infantry for blue is coming from. I don't think Hera's going to keep investing in elephants. It certainly doesn't look like he's got the resources for it. He's literally got 15 2x4s in the bank. Slavic Castle is still up. So he got detonates, and he built one extra castle. Elephant count now has been reduced to 3. These Hussars still 45 seconds away from Blast Furnace. Looks like Pikemen are back to being annoying AF. And now a Treb is showing up here as well. For what? This town center? Or you want to just kill this one quicker? Nope. Okay, you're going after that house. And things keep going from bad to worse here for our Malay in blue. And Hera really looks like he's in trouble. Chemistry is getting got for him right now. Castle down, which means these Scorpions can run around, but they are clumped. And they are giving these trebuchets room to fire on them. But is it too little too late? 43 minutes into the game. So much siege and a Conqueror's Castle attempted but not even placed yet. And yeah, too little too late. Sora, Kuma, I mean, from the first shoelace aggression with the skirmishers here, and tell me, this house has gotten down to 254 HP. Was that just that one skirmisher that was here for like half an hour? It would be amazing if the Trebs, ooh, look like they've gotten attacked by the elephants. It would be amazing if these Trebs took down this one house that one skirmisher was working away at for the longest time. But literally from the early stages of this game, it has all been Sora Kuma. It has just been him all the time. It's so hard to see. The first villager kill was somewhere here, right? Then the second villager kill was somewhere here. It just all Sora Kuma. Every time the dice were rolled, every time the gods played their game, the pips came up. Sora Kuma, aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. Hera playing defense with elephants, not great. Leaving his gold, I guess the stone he mined, and so not really that big of a deal. But this, a third of your starting resources lamed, and Sora Kuma, as we saw, was even in a worse position with 4 of 5 of his initial resources outside of his wall off. But man, did it even matter? First of all, I want to do something that I like to do with the slabs. I want to see every single siege workshop. Do I even bother with the archery ranges? So here we go. 7, 14, 17, 18. This is 90 population room. This is 90 population space. This is 18 houses he didn't have to build. And again, granted, houses, not exactly the craziest that 25 would for most civilizations. Probably, I'm trying to think, actually all civilizations got the Malians, right? Does anyone else get a discount on their houses? But still, 18 houses you didn't have to build are those skirmishers that were attacking in the front. And what an absolute clinic of aggression out of our slab. We saw everything. We saw infantry to stop the elephants. We saw hussars in late game raiding using those 15% faster farmers. We saw, more importantly, siege. We saw monks, and using those monks, he got all 5 relics and almost 2,500 extra gold. Did our slab, and what an amazing play. Let's take a look at the stats. Oh yeah, I mean, Hera just never really got off the ground here. 51 halberdiers, 29 elephants and crossbowmen against hussars, pikemen, and knights. Peak APM a little bit on the lower side of what he usually is used to. 18 minutes in, and oh my goodness, a little bit before that. This must be when he was sniping that villager against the archer, spearman, villager, scout defense combo. But look at that, Sora Kuma outdoing Hera in the APM department. Not something you see every day. I'm gonna stop saying mamma mia. But look at that, 18,000, 17,000 more resources, and it's not all relic gold. Let's see a lot more wood, a lot more food, decent amount of extra gold, decent amount of extra stone. But at the end of the day, for a player that got dead nets, we're not really seeing that many castles. I mean, it saves you 260 stone per castle, which means I think the castles do only cost 390 stone, in addition to then obviously the extra wood cost. But I think he could have placed 2 more castles in addition to this one that he's placing. So there could be 2 more red, beautiful little drawings of whatever, this castle with the little red flag, and the Super Mario castle here on the map, or maybe even just a shit ton of towers as well. But he got dead nets, he used it to train, or rather to build 1 castle. But ultimately, let's see conversions. I want to see how many elephants. 3 conversions, which is, they're elephants, so not great, not bad. And then raisings 4 to 5, not really playing a role. Total kill count, 61 villagers. Look at Hera. He had to spend all of his food to replace his villagers. And even when your elephants are discounted 25, 35%, if you're spending at that difference on replenishing your villager count, yeah, you just don't have an army. And when you don't have an army, the slab just overwhelms. Again, farmers working it's like the Khmer. Pardon me, it's like the Khmer Hussar. You're just going to spam this unit that to Kingdom Come, cheaper, discounted, fully upgraded heavy scorpions. You're going to spam these to Kingdom Come. And that's why I call this game the spam. If you like, and we got to see some late game spam, but forget the late game spam. This has just been a non-stop aggression clinic from our Slav who just did not relent. There were a few times when Hera poked and prodded at some of this infrastructure. Maybe I can find a house. Yeah, he reduced 4 HP off this house. Congratulations. But aside from that, it was all Slav all the time. And with that aggression, Sora Kuma just pushes his opponent beyond the ability to just defend everywhere at once, on the right, in the center. Maybe kind of to the left, he can defend there. So maybe 2/3 indefensible. And with that, Sora Kuma takes the W, but GG in a very chaotic, bloody game to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.